Are you ready?
Here we go.
To take holes and take souls, and I'm all out of holes to see. Rest in peace. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most electrifying show in all of podcast entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Woo! We are live. We are not live, actually, in fairness, ladies and gentlemen. This is pre-recorded, but motherfuckers, let's see it. Let your hands in the air. How is everybody getting on? I needed to get this energy out of me system. Woo!
Oh, man, that was fucking
shit
brilliant.
right there. Aaron Williams is right in front of me, and right in front of him, standing across the ring, is 6'9" tall, and you can't teach that because he is. Who is he? It's the Underfaker. What's up, man? What's the story? How the boys? Guys, how do you make a fucking entrance? See that?
That's fucking brilliant.
I can do it better. I can do it better.
Oh my
We're going to tag
God.
Adam Bumpy.
We're literally coming back with a bang.
That's it, man. Come back with a bang, full of energy,
mate.
full of pizzazz, bit of big dick energy, you know what I mean? Bit of BDE. Yup! Just before I crack up my first bottle, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you all back to the After Sesh podcast, where we will chat shit. And for once, we're both going to get gargled while doing it. So why the fuck not? I do apologise preemptively if you hear the pitter-patter of rain on my roof. It's a metal roof. There's nothing I can do about it, lads. And Graham from Spin 103 has already hit me with more jokes than you can ever think of. So, Aaron, take it away. How are you getting on, bro? Long time, no talk.
I'm good up until I fucking seen this come through on the screen. Do me bleeding head in.
What is it, a bruise?
I don't know what it is. It won't go away.
Right, so we're going to put bets on, guys, right? Bruise or bug bite. It's one or the other. Aideen hitting you again, is she?
Don't tell the people that. It's private.
I mean, you walked into a door again, did you?
Walked into a door frame, mate.
While falling down the stairs. Rough one, man. Rough
Yeah.
way to do it. What's the story?
Here I was in the Guinness Book of Records.
You were? Why?
Yeah. The librarian told me to take it out. I just fucked that up completely.
You did. Welcome to being me, where your dad joke doesn't land, but mine definitely will. Because Aaron, I want to hit you with something really quickly, but not this. Definitely none of the context of the joke. I don't want to hit you with that. But come here. What did the penis say to the condom?
What?
Cover me. I'm going in.
Mine was actually a dick joke as well, but I left out the dick part. So it was meant to be.
Fair.
My dick was in the Guinness Book of World Records. The librarian told me to take it out, but I fucked it up. So that's getting clipped and put on TikTok as an epic fail.
But that's it. Clip the shit out of that. Just don't clip your dick, man, because that might not be too good.
I got another one just so I'm like keeping my flow
I'm
going.
coughing relentlessly through this because I had a bit of a fucking sinus infection last week. Don't worry, it wasn't the coof. So yeah. If you're a bit annoyed about how I'm going to be a bit sniffly, don't worry, I'm not crying if we're not on video. I'm coughing my lungs up and I've got a whopper headache, but I will do anything to get this sort of content out to everyone because fuck it, it's been ages and I used the holidays as an excuse to not do it last time, so why not?
I'm going to hit you with one more because I'm going to keep my good streak of hitting good jokes. I'm not leaving on a bad one.
Can I just say to you, your joke would have been good. It was your delivery that was piss poor.
Yeah, I got too excited and pre-ejaculated, so yeah.
Oh, so we're swapping roles this week.
Yeah. Okay, have you heard about the King Sperm who's good at maths?
No.
His name is Circumference. Boom.
Congratulations, you're the catcher of this week.
Yeah. Roles are reversed, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so as I said, there'll be a rough cough there, but sure, look, we'll have to deal with it. Come here, I have a bit of a sad old story to kick off this week.
Oh, no.
For the last week, I know. But come here, since last January, I was wearing a holy band. You know, like it was blessed by like Padre Pio. Now I'm not really mad religious or anything like that, but my ma got it for me, or my auntie got it for me. Was one of the other. I think they both got it on a trip to Rome. So it was one of these blessed things. And I went to McGowan's, my first night out, back in a fucking night.
No.
Bro, I woke up the next morning, didn't even realize it wasn't on me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this was like more than a year on my wrist. Like I'd have a shower with this thing on me and all. Like about an hour after waking up, I was like, arm feels a bit naked. What's happening here? Copped it. I was like, where's me holy band? I went upstairs and I was like, maybe I'll put it in my pocket. So I put my hand in my pocket and I pulled out one single solitary bead off the holy band.
We all know where it is, Adam.
But there's a silver lining to all this because I have a new band. This band here, I can't actually remember what the name of it is. It's just like a red band, but it's like symbolic for you give it to someone that you think in your eyes needs help or needs help is probably the best way to see it. I don't like someone that's already lost their path a little bit, so you give them this, and the whole point of it is you wear it all the time, and if you wake up without it one day, it's like a Buddhist thing, but it's like if you wake up without it one day, it means it's done its job. It's no longer needed.
Mate, give me about fucking 50 then, will you? Jesus Christ, give me them.
Well, no, it's a really, really cool idea, and if once again, we don't have any stock in any of this shit here, and obviously we don't have the viewership to be advertising things, or getting paid to do it at least. But no, it's genuinely, I'm so happy with it. It's actually really nice, and it's lovely kind of symbology to it. Like as in, like you lose it, you don't need the book anymore, or you don't need the help anymore. You've done it yourself, so it's pretty cool. I'm liking it anyway, and it's a nice little replacement for my holy band.
Yeah, where'd you get it? You said your auntie got it.
The holy band, my aunt got me in Rome, and this my mum got me that. She obviously, I was a bit upset after losing the holy band, but
I kind of want one.
Like I put on a brave face. What?
I kind of want one.
Yeah, they're quite nice, man, and I wouldn't mind because you seemed, based off the last episode, like you need a bit of help or you need a bit of luck to go your way. Who knows? There might be one coming through your letterbox sooner rather than later. She gave one to my sister as well, so I wonder what that luck is. Hopefully, one of us gets the sort of luck that wins the lotto or something,
Such wood, mate.
I'll whip it off straight away and give it to you. Did you hear that? Put it.
I'm changing religion.
Yeah, that's it. Why not, man? Well, not even change, explore. That's one of the coolest things ever, to be honest. I sat down one day and just kind of, when you're in religion class in school and you just kind of have, everything is just thrown at you, but it's like certain people believe certain things, but it just kind of glosses over say the major 5 world religions. It'll gloss over them completely, and you kind of know, all right, well, like Christians, Catholics, like whatever, we know what they do, like we can go through like communion, confirmation, and everything like that. When you actually look into other religions, man, I find it fucking fascinating when you see some of the rituals that they have. Like, I'd love to get someone on that could obviously explain it a lot better than I can. Someone that's actually lived through. Like, say, I'd love to get someone that follows Islam on, or someone that's followed like Buddhism from a young age, or even Judaism, anything like that, just to get on and talk about it. Yeah, see, like, I don't know about that. I have a friend that's a religion teacher. You know who you are. And I think she'd know about probably a bit more than I would, but I'd want it firsthand from somebody who's like grown up in that sort of society.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that'd be really cool because it's exploring a different perspective there, and it's something that we wouldn't, like, they probably have a lot of lived experiences that we never even touched on,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be good. I've been
trying to get anyone that comes from. Sorry, yeah, go on, bro.
I've been trying to find guests to fucking come on, but it's so hard to like find someone that like I was like, they'd be a good guest to come on, but then I'm like, how much could we actually get out of it? I don't want it to be like a 20-minute thing, and we're like, so weather, lovely, isn't it? And
yeah, exactly.
I don't know
you don't want that. You want to have an actual conversation almost ready, or at least have a few points that you can be like, lovely, I know at least I can talk to you about this sort of thing if you're a bit boring.
Yeah. I'm thinking, is it better to do research and know about them, or is it just like, right, I know fuck all about you, give me everything about you and what you do and all that. So I think if you got like someone who, as you were saying, someone who grew up in a different religion, I wouldn't want to do research or know anything about them. I'd rather than just come on and just like, right, tell us about yourself and how you grew up, and just go into it like with an open mind sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Make it as educational as possible. That'd be pretty cool, and I'd say it'd be a lot more beneficial for the people at home as well. Like, because like, who knows, there could be a topic that gets brought up on this that spurs on fucking a fascination for someone. You know what I mean? Maybe someone like changes shit up and just decides, wow, that actually sounds like more of a right answer than the one I already believe in. Not trying to change anyone's mind here. I'm not Stephen Crowder, but it's always cool to explore different avenues. You know what I mean? I feel like if you don't explore the avenues that are open to you and always go down the same one, you're going to leave yourself blind to everything else that's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
See the way you were saying you lost your band when you were out?
Yeah.
One thing I seen the other day, it was saying that if alcohol was invented now, like nowadays in recent years, that would be a banned substance. It wouldn't be legal. What do you
I
think?
could see it being a banned substance, yeah. If it was only invented now, it's along the lines of there's a lot of. It's all right. Just for the sake of argument, we'll lump alcohol in here as a drug, yeah? Is that okay with you?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So we'll lump alcohol in as a drug, right? So if we look at it in comparison to drugs that are already illegal, or some drugs that are already illegal, the likes of cannabis, alcohol is actually a lot more damaging to your body than cannabis is.
That's
So
where
if
it's
we were to
coming
base
from.
it solely off that, yeah, exactly. If we were to base it solely off damage done, then for a fact, I think it would be. The reason that alcohol, in my eyes, is legal and say other drugs that you can consider, like say recreational drugs, wouldn't be legal, is because the profit isn't there and the infrastructure isn't already set up for them. So, in terms of it'd be very, if alcohol was only say recently invented now, say for example, if beer was only recently invented and it was Budweiser that made it, or whoever originally made Budweiser, I don't know who the fuck they are. We'll call him Alfred Budweiser, right? So Alfred Bud for short, right? So Alfred Bud makes it randomly in his kitchen or in his bath one day, or however you make alcohol.
It's bad.
Yeah, who knows? It could be one of them backwoods fuckers that's there mixing it. You know what I mean? So
Baby in
maybe
it.
they're making it in the. Yeah, there we go. Maybe he's brewing it, man. He's churning that shit. Yeah.
That's why it
So
tastes like shit. It's his sweat.
exactly, Budweiser, the blatant
We
dirt.
started off drinking
Anyway,
that, I don't know how, but
one of my mates still drinks them, and the smell off the points.
nah.
Dirty oaks they are. But sorry, I'm just getting a bit sidetracked there. So if you look at the way Budweiser are set up now, or Heineken or Tiger or fucking Diageo, right? They're set up that they already have the distilleries, everything's made, there's loads of jobs being created from it, and they've shown that we can create jobs and we'll put things on it to like drink alcohol responsibly, all things like that. Where if it was a brand new product, the infrastructure isn't there, the money isn't already in the system to say, like, you know what I mean? Like people, governments, everything, they don't want to stop free flowing money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're going to get money, and as taxed as alcohol is in Ireland, you're going to get a lot of money from that. You know what I mean? It's one of them things that I'm getting completely off point and sidetracking myself here, to be honest. I believe it would be, if not fully illegal, yeah, probably fully illegal, because there's no medical benefit, there's no medicinal benefit to alcohol, realistically. Unless you want to use it to sterilize needles.
Because about 10, 15 years ago, maybe less, like a lot of sponsors were alcohol beverages, like the likes of let's say trophies being named after a drink, or even the rugby, like the logo was on the pitch sort of thing, and even on like Kiss sponsors, there was a lot of that. That's a lot, like most of it's gone away with. And even things like drinking in the stadium, or maybe something as you can't drink on the street, like all these things have been brought in. And alcohol can be a lethal substance. If you, let's say, if you take a silver bullet, for argument's sake, this shot, and you have 10 of them, God almighty, it'd be 100 times worse than taking 10 spliffs.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Well, no, it depends, like, are you smoking shit weed?
I don't know, I never smoked it. I've never done a drug in my life, so.
There you go, stay clean. You're like CM Punk, you are. Straight edge.
I'm probably the wrong person to talk about this. I've never done a drug, so I can't comment on like how.
Well, no, not really, because the conversation is alcohol a drug? The conversation that you brought up is, would alcohol be illegal if it was developed today? I just think it would be illegal. What do you think about it? Do you reckon it'd be illegal or legal or illegal? And it's so hard to make a difference when you're trying to say both of them into a mic.
Like everyone loves an old gargle, and it's like, I'm not going to toot around horns here, but me and you are pretty good drinkers. We can handle our drink pretty well. There's other people out there.
I definitely could pre-pandemic, yeah.
Like, there's people out there who literally sniff a drink and they're like, oh, they're bleeding on the floor. So
I don't understand people like that, man. Like, I know exactly, and I wouldn't mind anyone that's listening to this. Most of you aren't. Well, once again, you know who you are. There's certain ones that just go, Oh, Jesus, I'm bleeding, wax bars, I'm fucked. How? How does that happen? Like,
I don't know.
come on, like, you're Irish. Get a bit of constitution into you, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
fuck me. Like, man, I look fair enough if you're down in shots. That's different. Some people have, like, a can, and you're like, your head is gone, mate. Like, it just, I don't understand how that can happen to certain people.
I think
Unless you're like,
because drink is seen as like a socially acceptable thing. And if you don't drink, people are like, "Wait, you don't drink? What the fuck?" But
yeah.
it's the side effects of it. The fact that like if you have, I say majority of people have a certain amount, they're blacked out and do stupid things, and like I don't know if any drugs make it black out or anything, but the likes of weed that just gives you
That'd make you black out, yeah.
does it? Yeah.
If you drank and smoked weed together, you'd most likely, like, it depends on how much. Say you're like gargling, I just said, say, or I give you the example of, if you had 10 shots of like 10 silver bullets throughout a night and then had like 2 or 3 blows off a joint, man, for someone that doesn't smoke much weed, they'll probably start getting sick.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's called the going green, like, same as me jumper. Go green. But yeah, no, for a fact, man, yeah, that's kind of how it works. But there's a weird thing about weed, man, and I say this to people all the time, right? If you smoke a joint earlier in the day or before you start drinking or with your first drink, you won't feel that fucked. And the whole thing, you won't be like, not that you won't feel that fucked. Don't false advertise here, but you won't go green. And for the pure fact that this is the way I equate it. Alcohol makes you dizzy, weed makes you dizzy. But if you have, say, alcohol and weed together, you'll be like really dizzy for a while, but not the entire time. And then if you just keep drinking, you're fine. Like, do you know what I mean? That's grand. Or if you keep smoking, you should be fresh.
But
But
see,
if you are going through a full night with just drink and then all of a sudden decide I'm going to have like a blow of a split, that's just something completely different to what you already have in your system. You're already kind of on the level of, what would you say? I can't try to think of the right word for it. You're almost like a child in a way where you'll like you'll do things that you see and all, like, you know what I mean? You're a bit
yeah.
stupid, impressionable, where you're very impressionable in that say. So you've had 10 shots, you have 1 blow, 2 blows, 3 blows, however many it takes, right? It doesn't mix well because it's like adding being really fucking dizzy and then an injection of being dizzy. It's like getting 10 left hooks and then they finish it off at the right. Do you know what I mean? I went very long-winded and probably didn't make a lot of sense there to people, but in my head that made sense.
I was thinking, like, see, with the drinking limit, they say you can only have like 1 or 2 points, and then I'm assuming after that it starts to affect like your reaction time, how you think, drowsiness, maybe
Yeah,
falling asleep. So I say it's 2 or I don't know what it is now, like drink or 2. It's that for a reason. And
isn't
like,
it?
I'm trying to look it up here.
Is it 2.2 units? See, I don't drive, so I've nothing to worry about. Guess I shouldn't drink and cycle or something, you know? Drink and scoot.
But
Don't
you know what
drink
I
and
mean?
walk.
Like the fact that it's
Drink and
so
sit down.
low, the fact that it's so low, like if you have more than that, it's gonna affect you. That's why, like they're
But
saying, if it was invented now, it would be an illegal substance because how quick it can affect you. It's not gonna affect you big time after having 2, but it might be just like your reaction time. It goes from like half a second
drowsiness,
to yeah. So your reaction time
reaction
goes.
time, your drowsiness. There's a lot of different factors that come into it, and as well as that, alcohol, man, can make people very aggressive, especially the likes of gin,
Oh,
man. It's
what
called the psycho
100%.
drink for a reason. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the things I don't understand about alcohol. It's like, fair enough, like, it's legal. I enjoy it. I'm not saying make it illegal, but like people are kicking the head off each other sometimes on it, like, you know. Oh, you'd be very
100%.
hard pressed to find a group of lads that smoke. Like, fuck, all right, put 5 people in a room, 5 people keep getting hammered. Eventually, there could be a scrap. There's at least a 25% chance there will be a scrap. Right? You'd agree with that, would you? About 25%, or am I being a bit too nice about it?
Yeah, I'd say 25. Yeah.
All right, say 25. You get fucking 5 stoners in a room sitting in a circle, right? The chances of a scrap,
Are
they go into the
slimming.
negatives. That man, they go into the negatives, man.
Everyone's just so chill.
Man, everyone turns fucking Canadian. Start apologizing to each other over everything. We can touch on the Canadians later on, but I still have a bit more of this gargle to get through. And just so you all know, anyone watching at home will get more of a benefit than anyone listening on Spotify. Not to say don't listen on Spotify, still do, please. But for every topic that we go through, you will see us polish off at least one drink. And if that drink isn't polished and we have a super chat set up, you say it to us and we're down 2 for the mistake.
Right, here's a little thing that you have I found here. If you have 10 points of Guinness, Heineken, Carlsberg, or some other lager or stout in around 4.5%, according to Drinkaware, you are not getting a car for 20 hours after you finish your final drink.
20?
Yeah.
20 hours?
Yeah. So
For
basically,
like, are you saying points? Wait, points, yeah?
Yeah, 10 points. If you have 10 points of Carlsberg, you can't get in the car basically nearly 24 hours after. It's 20 hours. So if you
Fucking hell, man.
if you go to bed at midnight, you can't get back into your car until 8 o'clock the following night.
Man, that's ridiculous. That's
Here's
ridiculous.
One
If
bottle
you get a
of
good
wine.
sleep and all, sleep
Yeah.
it off, have a shower, a few Red Bulls or a few fucking cans of Monster, maybe a joint or something. You should be fine.
Here's here 10 vodkas and Coke. So if you get 10 vodka Cokes, have a guess what the time is for that.
Based off 10 points being 10 points, right, at 4.5% equals 20 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
So we're looking at 10 vodkas at 37.5% to 38%. That's gonna, you're out of commission for about a fucking week or something, right? Or they tell you just don't drive manual.
It says 10 hours.
Right, how the fuck does that?
That does not make sense.
No, it doesn't. Even when you incorporate measure size, who the fuck is doing this? Tony Ulan?
Another one here, a bottle of wine. That's what, anywhere from 4 to what, 20 maybe? I don't know, I don't drink wine, so I'm just guessing.
A bottle of wine. I'm pretty, wine's about what, 15 to 18%. Oh, actually, I couldn't tell you, man. I'm not a wine drinker, to be honest. I don't mind like having a bit of Italian food. Why not have a red wine? You know what I mean? It's a special night or something. Fuck
It says
that.
to stay off the
drink
road
something
for
that's
8
nice.
hours.
Here, just on the topic of drink, right? Wanted to say this. I think this is pretty cool. I only noticed when I was buying it when I brought them into my house. So I'm drinking Tiger, right? And I never realized this, but Tiger every year donate $1 million at least to the World Wildlife Fund directly for the conservation effort to keep tigers from going extinct. That's pretty fucking cool. I wouldn't want, and see when you hear things like that about like a certain company, it makes you like it's philanthropy. Basically, is the future of marketing. Is the way I look at it. Because I see that and go, well, fuck, I love tigers. I'm not a big fan of Frosties, but I love tigers. So, like, yeah, for every cent that gets me, like, locked or gets me drunk, a bit of that, or every euro that gets me drunk, a bit of that is going towards actually fucking keeping tigers alive.
You talk about Frosties the drink or Frosties the cereal?
I didn't even know there was a Frosties the drink, so that should answer your question for you. There's a Frosties the drink?
Oh, mate, if you went to the Blacker, you can get 2 Frosties for like 12 or 14.
I was too young. I was too young for that shit, man. I was afraid I'd be stranded in Coolock after a bouncer took the idea off.
I went to the pub beside me for my birthday, and they done Frosties. And I was like, I have to get one. I was like,
really? So just for myself and the people at home as well. What's in a Frosty?
I have to Google it because I'm not exactly sure.
All right, what do you think is in it? Because if you get it wrong, the comment section is going to be lit up with all of the Blackers fucking residents sitting there being
vodka in it.
Yeah, bro. That has to be. It's probably knowing the Blacker. It's probably aftershock and vodka and shit like that. You know what I miss, man? Just while you're looking that up, you're talking about the Blacker. We're talking about Gargle. Cheers, by the way. I miss an actual fucking after session. And by that, I don't mean like, a few people go back from a club and play a few tunes. You know, when it's like 5 a.m, there's only like 3 or 4 years left. You're scuttered. No, I mean, you're scuttered. And there's some fucker at the table bringing up memories that they're only after remembrance and start, repressed memories from like being 4 or 5. You don't know whether it's bollocks or true, but you're not really listening anyway. I miss nights like that, bro, where there's a bit of kitchen talk involved, because you never know what the fuck you're going to hear. There's so much random shit that comes out of people. Like, it's gas. And the best thing about it is, you know for a fact you're not going to have the fear afterwards. No one remembers a fucking thing. Like, it's the best thing in the world. Like, it's kind of, that's where the inspiration for the name of this podcast came from. You know that, don't you?
Yep.
It was down to 2 names: Kitchen Talk and After Sesh. We kind of like, they're one of the same to me. Well, they used to be anyway. Now all the after sessions take place in this yoke.
That's another thing about drink, like hangover. So the next day, you're literally bedbound for nearly the whole day. And like if you go out on a Saturday, Sunday's your recovery time. Touch wood.
Oh man, for
Luckily,
a
I haven't had
fact.
many hangovers, but
Oh, you're very lucky in that way. It'll be more funny now, I had to say. See, over the next few weeks where we are doing podcast, and me and Aaron, we kind of made an agreement now. Like, probably should have said this at the start of the podcast, but for the most part, these are probably going to be going out once every 2 weeks, just because if you really want to get like content that's quality and you want to have people actually want to listen to it, you want to be able to cultivate it. There's only two of us, and we both have full-time jobs, so it's hard to push out one a week. And we've seen that over the last few weeks where you're sick for 2 days and all of a sudden your schedule's fucked for a week. So we're going to give ourselves a bit of leeway and a bit of breathing space, and we're going to try produce at least one every 2 weeks. And then any time that we do have time to spare, or we have content to spare, or something big happens, or something that needs to be discussed happens, then we will of course produce another episode.
yeah,
But for the most
over.
part, and we just kind of want, exactly, life does take over. And in fairness, if it didn't, it'd be a bit boring, wouldn't we?
Right, here's what's in a frosty. Smirnoff Ice, Cola, Piranha.
Smirnoff Ice, Cola and Piranha. That yeah, it doesn't sound like my type of drink.
Actually,
I'll
it's
leave it at
lovely.
that. Oh, I'd say it's nice, bro, but it doesn't sound like the one for me.
Are you finished
It
your
really
bottle
doesn't.
yet?
Why are we changing topic?
We're gonna end it on a final answer. If alcohol was discovered now, would it be legal or illegal? Final answer.
It would be, in my opinion, illegal.
I'll have to agree with you on that
I
one.
feel like there's far too many drawbacks to it to get it out there as a proper topic. I don't think it'd get past the testing phase, to be honest.
Oh. Like even the 0% drinks, like they're grand and all, but once you have like 2 or 3, it just tastes mank after that.
It's not alcohol.
I know.
Oh, here, them 0% drinks have 0.003% alcohol in them. So, like, if you had like 100 cans, that's like one full unit. So anyone that's drinking them and they're off the gargle, they're not like.
There's a challenge for you. Have 100 non-alcoholics in the night.
And I have a friend that drinks a lot of zeros, man. And we just like him saying that, like, to him, like, come here, you know, there's still gargle in that, like, there's still alcohol in there. You're drinking that. My joke. But come here, I had one thing to say about people that don't drink alcohol. You were saying earlier on how it's almost like kind of a bit of a, what the fuck, you don't drink, what the fuck, you know, that kind of buzz. I have an opinion on this, right? And I could be right, could be wrong, I'm most likely right. But I prefer people that do like to drink. Not alcoholics, not drunks, but people that like to go out, have a laugh, have a drink. And there's a good reason for that, because those people always have good stories. Would you agree? Even if every story isn't good, they will always have at least one good story. Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to say this to you. You go on a night out, maybe you're talking to a sober fucker. When every story ends with, and then I got home safe, you're not a fun person. Like, what the fuck? Like, there has to be something. There has to be something mad going on. It's not just 12:30. Oh, I got a taxi home. I was in bed and I watched some Netflix. That sounds delightful, man. I rolled around in puddles till 7:30 in the morning. But my night seems more fun. Like,
On my last night out there after the Dublin Mail match, I went into town, Temple Bar or wherever, into a place called Bad Bob's, and I was talking to a fella, and he was half Danish, half German, and he's a DJ.
Yeah.
A DJ in Hamburg. Talked to him for about half an hour, and he was pretty gone, but had a good chat with him, good laugh, and he goes, if you're ever in Hamburg, hit me up, and he'll sort me out. So, and I'm going to say this as well.
You can't. My drink's done. I was trying to wave it at you, and you didn't look at the screen. Another new rule of the after sesh, ladies and gentlemen. If a drink is finished before a topic, I'm sorry. We'll have to revisit it another day. Sorry, Aaron. I tried to warn you so much. I was there like that holding the thing. You can rewatch it. You can watch it back, man. I was nearly hypnotising you with you. But unfortunately, that's Gargle 1 down and topic 1 over. That's pretty. I'm sorry, bro, but that's pretty funny
brilliant.
how that worked out. Yeah, that worked out pretty okay. So the next time we'll get that shit finished. Right, ball number 2. What
Topic
do we have
number
next
2.
to talk about? Topic number 2. Can we talk about the fucking elephant in the room, man?
I really don't want to book one because I don't think we can get much out of it, and it's a lot going on. And
Trust me, I can get a lot out of this. What the fuck, lads? I woke up this morning and fucking Cold War 2 started. What's the story here? Like, and it's not even Cold War 2. What am I talking? Lads, Ukraine's after getting fucking invaded. What the fuck, like?
proper,
I know, like, and yeah, proper, like land, sea, and air, man. I got sent a video there earlier on today of someone, like a woman in a house, man. And you see, like, fucking fighter jets flying towards the gaff, man.
seeing
And they
that.
literally, you seen it, they fire missiles through the neighbour's gaff and all, man. You just hear the kids screaming, man. That was traumatizing to fuck, so I couldn't even imagine what it's like to be there.
No, I've seen
Fucking
videos as
hell,
well
man,
of
like,
like the
feel
bus stops being jammed and fucking people trying to evacuate
petrol
all, but
stations, everything.
shops empty. And then Aidan was saying they have a curfew as well from like 10 p.m. till 7 a.m. and there's no public transport, but you can use the metro or underground as like a bomb shelter if you want during them hours.
Bro,
It's
it's
just
horrifying how that can happen. Like, that really, I know it's been kind of brewing for like, well, since 2014, it's kind of been brewing when they kind of had that. I don't even know if it was a ceasefire, to be honest, but like when it kind of dropped out of the news. But lads, it's not looking good.
Am I
It's
understand this
really not.
correctly? He invaded because he felt threatened that Ukraine would join NATO and have a bordering country that's in NATO.
A NATO ally. Yeah,
Yeah,
so NATO allies, because the US are a member in NATO, as well as most of Europe now.
yeah.
Funnily enough, Ireland aren't a member in NATO because we are neutral. Despite Leo Varadkar and Simon Coveney's comments, we are neutral, and maintaining our neutrality is one of the best things and one of the most important things we can do. What's happening there is Ukraine's not a member of NATO, but former, say, Russian or USSR states, like the likes of Estonia, they are now.
He wants to get
So
the union
it
back,
would
doesn't he?
mean that, yeah, basically he wants Ukraine back. Ukraine was known as the breadbasket of Europe. It's one of the biggest grain producers in Europe. So whoever has control of Ukraine has control of a vast amount of food resources, basically. You know, like a production plant wise, it produces a lot of fucking food. Now, luckily enough, again for us, we produce a lot of grain too. A lot of the products that will be affected by the war in Ukraine, this is just for Irish people to know, to not be as worried about. Obviously, the cost of living over here is going through the fucking roof. But in terms of products that are made in Ukraine, we actually tend to produce a lot of similar products to them. And in terms of getting gas from them and gas from Russia, most of Ireland's gas doesn't come from there anyway. Most of it comes from the UK and the North Sea, or from deals with Qatar, or also there's a place just off of Mayo, I'm pretty sure, for natural gas that they use. So like in terms of that, prices shouldn't go up too much. But back to what NATO's effect is here. If the Ukraine were ever to become a member of NATO, it would mean that the US would be allied with them, like in written agreement, and would be able to station a military base there, same as there's military bases in the likes of Turkey. Fuck it. If you ever look at a map, we should try actually pull this map up for anyone that is watching on YouTube. There's a map that shows you every US military base in NATO countries. It's fucking mental. They're represented by little blue dots, and this is a part of the podcast that would be really, really worth looking at, because you can see from where they all are. Like, you could see why Russia wouldn't be too happy with it. Not to say I'm sympathizing with them whatsoever, but just from a pure strategic and analytical point of view, you could see why they wouldn't be happy about that. I honestly don't know what the fuck is going on. Other than my main theory is Angela Merkel, she's retired from politics, like she's dust after like 20 years as the head of Germany. And as much as I might not have liked Angela Merkel, she was a strong figurehead for that country and always a deterrent for anything like this happening. Do you know what I mean? Macron, so in my eyes, Germany and France would be the two that are in control of the EU for the most part, of the two the two big boys. And Macron is up for election this year. So that and Sleepy Joe being in, you know what I mean? It kind of makes the Western world look more weak and more of an easy target, like, than they have been in the last few years. It's a lack of strong leadership. You know what I mean? If you were to look at it from the Russian perspective, of like Putin's perspective of why did the attack happen now? Why is the invasion happening now? Because he genuinely probably doesn't think there's someone that is willing to stand up and go, right, stop this, or we're going to blow the shit out of you. Not in a sexual way. And even like in the way that a lot of Americans are like, oh, well, this wouldn't have happened if Trump was in power. Yeah, this
He would have made
definitely
it
wouldn't have
worse.
happened if Trump was in power. No, he wouldn't have made it worse. The whole thing about Trump being in ahead of Biden, in my eyes, when it comes to the Putin situation, is Putin's a former KGB agent. If you think Donald Trump walks into a room and Putin is frightened, mate, shove your head up your ass and give it a wobble, right? You might get some use out of him because you're clearly not using your fucking brain. Putin would murder him in a one-on-one. But the fact that Trump was sitting in the US with the fucking football, you know what the football is?
No.
It's America's nuke button. It's in a briefcase. They call it the football. Every president has it, or they're the one that has access to it. Imagine you're Putin and you know you're nuts, right? Like, you know you're nuts. And you look across the sea at your old enemy and go, here, I know I'm nuts, but that cunt's tapped. Like, you know what I mean? He looks across now and goes, well, I know I'm nuts, and I know that cunt's asleep. It's a lack of strong leaders. I'm not saying Trump was a strong leader, but he was a deterrent in the way that you didn't know what the fuck that fellow was going to do next. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Looking at the
don't want to see
military
this.
bases here.
You have it there, do you?
Looks like they have bases in Kazakhstan, Mongolia, that
Yeah.
are border countries already. They have
Oh
one
no, I'm talking about just in Europe.
in Europe. They have one. They have a good. It just shows like a national
There's a
dots,
lot in
but like,
Germany, a lot of them in Poland.
it doesn't
There's
show individual
some
ones. It just shows like big circle in general. But yeah, there is a lot.
there's a lot of them dotted around Europe.
There's over
And like I know,
200, I
like
think.
if anyone did the junior cert history would notice, everyone knows about the Cuban Missile Crisis, and that was based around American paranoia that, well, the Russians have missiles in Cuba that can now hit us. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you can, if you look at it and take the step back and be like, I feel like I don't have an answer for this. I don't think anyone has a fucking answer for this. I don't know what way this is gonna go, but it's gonna be bad. Like, you can just see where the pieces are put into play and where people are getting their pre-made excuses of, well, you did this, so I can do this. Do you know what I mean?
And people did say
It also
that whoever defends Ukraine, he basically attacked them as well.
Yeah. So look, Ireland, like on our home front side here, we need to stay neutral as fuck. We need to do what De Valera did when he was offered the fucking 6 counties up north by Britain to join World War II. Go, sorry, mate, we're neutral. We're nothing to do with this. You fight your own war. And I mean that in a sense of, we don't have the military capacity to help out in any
Oh
way.
God, no.
We'd be more of a hindrance. The only thing we could do is send over the Rangers. And that just means that we're adding good snipers. That's it. The Irish army is woefully ill-equipped to deal with anything like this, as most neutral countries should be. However,
Our
you look at
defence
other
forces is
neutrals.
mainly like for evacuation sort of thing, isn't it? To help the people evacuate
Yeah,
sort of thing.
that and peacekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it
So
wouldn't
you're
be like
looking at,
a frontline fucking defence sort of thing. We're more like,
bro, there's more people doing the Leaving Cert every year than there actually is in the Irish army, including reserves.
yeah, like, we're not going to offer much help.
There's about 58, 62,000 people doing the Leaving Cert every year. That shows you the state of where it is. If you look at other neutral countries in, not even just in the EU, but other neutral countries in Europe, say like Finland and Switzerland, even though they're neutral, they still spend a lot more of their GDP on military. And unfortunately, I think that is something that we might have to explore over the next little while. And I wouldn't even say like bolster ground forces or anything like that. I'd say pay the people that are in the defence forces fucking adequately for once. Because I know lads that have gone in at the very start and they're on like €3.50 an hour. That needs to fucking stop. Making an attractive proposition to go into, first of all. At least minimum wage, for fuck's sake. You know what I mean? It's why it's the minimum wage. Right? Do that. Bolster the Air Force. Get a few fucking like actual planes in. I went to see the air show that Ireland do. You know, the Irish fucking
Yeah, it's in Brighton, is
aviation.
it?
Yeah, the Irish Air Force, man. It's literally evacuation planes and a few sea rescue yachts. Then the Swiss pilots were there one year. This was out in Bray, yeah, you're right. The Swiss pilots were there one year. They brought fucking 8 fighter jets with them. And the fellas were there doing like, like fucking, what was like barrel rolls, evasive maneuvers and all this, man. It was like watching some cut in Star Wars, man. It was deadly.
Starfighters.
We need to do that. We need to bolster our fucking Navy, man, because we need to actually be able to assess naval targets. Especially what, like Ireland, the Channel, it leads to Rotterdam. You know what I mean? That's a really important shipping ground. We need to start looking after this sort of thing. So if on the off chance that it does, conflict makes it this far, we have something to fall back on. During the Second World War, they painted fucking they painted cardboard to make it look like cannons as a deterrent. Do you know what I mean? Or to make it look like that. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't bullshit your way through everything. Like,
They
and at
done
this stage,
something
you
else,
quite have
didn't
to
they?
go.
They done something else on a mountain, didn't they? They put "This is Ireland" so they wouldn't get attacked or something. And was it Hout? No, where was it?
I'm not sure, but I think I have an idea what you're talking about. I can't remember what it is. Like me though.
They put Era in one on one of the coasts. So I think it was either Hout or like Donegal or something.
It'd be very funny. A sign with England and an arrow pointing that way. That'd be a funny way to do it. But come here, man. This whole Russia-Ukraine thing, man, it could spill over into being a world conflict.
Yeah, all it takes is like one thing to push over the edge, and it's gonna be like, right, that's fair enough, and then just all hell breaks loose, sort of thing.
Look at what happened with World War One. World War One, Gabriel Princip, a Serbian nationalist, basically shot the Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria. And because of that, Austria then declared war on Serbia, and Serbia called in a favor from Germany. Oh, so Serbia called in a favor from Russia. And then when Russia got involved, the Austrians went, "Here, Germany, sorry, you have disagreement with us." Do you know what I mean? And it was literally agreements between countries being like, "Here, bro, what happens to you? I'll stick up for you. I'll stick up for you. I'll stick up for you." I feel like we're kind of in like a place where that could start fucking happening again. And the scariest thing for me is it's not right now. It's the precedents that what's happening right now sets. It's not what's going on right now is what I mean. It's the precedents it sets. So if you go back to when Afghanistan was evacuated by the West, so we're talking about, like, say, Australia, England, the US, when they evacuated there, they left the place in a heap, let the Taliban roll in, take over. Okay? I think that would have been another thing that made Putin go, right, these are weak. Do you know what I mean? Leadership-wise, these are weak. And the next thing that I can see happening is China using, under the same auspices as Russia right now, are using to invade Ukraine, false flag attacks, shit like that, are going to go and take Taiwan because they also believe the West. So we're talking about the US, the UK, a few other countries speckled in there as well. They're going to think they're weak and they won't react. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I can see this being somewhat of a bit of a fucking step back compared to how we were going in the last few years. And I can't believe we've gotten out of a pandemic and into a. We could have gotten out of a pandemic and into a world war. If this is the level up, I'm actually all right. Can I go back 2 spaces, please?
Yeah, we have some stories to tell our kids, like, "Oh, we have a hard life, mate. You lived through a fucking pandemic and World War III."
Yeah, especially, man, it'd be even weirder now if the Russians at the minute are trying to take Chernobyl's nuclear plant. They took it, right? Yeah. We could be really fucked then. So there's a bit of a theory at the minute. I've seen this earlier. I'm saying it's a bit of a theory because I don't really want to alarm too many people. That if they take that and destroy like one of the reactors, it could cause a cloud that will cover most of all of Ukraine, basically, a lot of Western Europe and a few other countries. So you're saying we could have some cool stories to tell our kids. One of our kids could be fucking Spider-Man, man. You know what I mean?
I was wondering why they were taking it. Like, it didn't make sense to me why
it's a strategically valuable spot. It's the same as what's a Mariupol or Matapol or whatever. It's another coastal city. Basically, if they take another coastal city or two in Ukraine, they've taken away Ukraine's entire sea or their entire access to water. Fucking mad, man. Like, they've no coastline, man. It's such a crazy situation. And I feel like we're just going to go around in circles with it because you said at the start of this, You didn't want to talk about it because you didn't have enough information. You didn't think we'd go on for that long. I feel
Did
like
you
I'm
hear
trying
what
to drag
Boylan
this out.
said?
'Cause I'm afraid of what you said. What did he say?
He basically said that they're going to do
Hang
anything.
on. I'm afraid. Let me pull my covers up. Cover. Tell me, go on.
He said that they're going to send troops over as a defensive strategy. That's it. They're not going to go over.
Motherfucker.
He's not going to go attacking. He's going to be on the defensive side of things, and he's going to do everything in his power to protect the neutrals as he should.
He can't even do everything in his power to stay awake.
Yes, I know. Like, I thought it was bad at stringing a sentence together, but like, fuck me.
I seen a video of him earlier. The dude has not been able to string a sentence together without stuttering in the last year, man.
Like, I thought I was bad.
Now
but
he's
like,
in his.
fuck me.
Like, people go, oh, well, he's old. He's in his 70s. Then why is he the president of the States?
Yeah, like, there's something not right there.
It's a bit mad, isn't it? So here, sure, look, man. What was the catchphrase during the? So we had the boom, like Celtic Tiger, and we had the bust, the recession, and the catchphrase went from "oh, everything's deadly" to "ah, sure, the country's fucked." Now, what? 12 years there? No, not 12. 14 years there. It's not the country's fucked. The world's fucked, man.
I'm trying
The
to
world
get the
is
quote he
fucked.
said.
Can I ask you a question? Though?
Yep.
See if it was to go all out right now.
Yeah.
Say the battle doesn't spill over anywhere else. What side do you see coming out of this victorious? Ukraine or Russia?
It depends if Ukraine gets the help of others. If it doesn't, obviously it's fucked. But if it does, I can see Russia being on the losing side.
See, the whole thing about this as well is it's one of the scarier things is we're not going to know what information is actually factually correct coming out of this.
I know.
And how old the information is by the time it actually gets out of there. We're talking about an active war zone at the minute, and if we think the pictures we've seen of Afghanistan getting evacuated were bad, you're about to be in for a world of fucking pain here. This is going to be awful. It's excruciating to watch. And I'd imagine, and like where my thoughts and prayers are with anyone in Ukraine, anyone that knows anyone from Ukraine. Like, you know yourself, we have a friend or two from Ukraine. Lovely, lovely people. Anyone I've met from Ukraine is fucking sound. Do you know what I mean? They're actually like, from my experience, lovely people. And even like people who talked to in work who said they've been to Kiev, they're like fucking beautiful city, beautiful people. So like,
I'm
it's
just
fucking
thinking
awful.
of the death toll of this. Like, it's already up, whatever it is now at the minute. But
I'd say it's in the hundreds now at least.
It's gonna get a lot worse.
See it all.
And yeah, you have people stand there in suits and just like, oh yeah, the all talk while just like normal people are just going and losing their life over this.
Did you see actually? Can't think of the TV show because it's probably in Ukrainian. It was it's like like a panel show in Ukraine 2 or 3 days ago. Say journalists and a few politicians and like political pundits and stuff like that. And a journalist called the politician a Russian sympathizer, or he was like, "You're a Russian plant." And the two of them start punching the head off each other on stage, right? They don't even go to commercial. Your man get like locks in a guillotine at one stage. Decent technique, right? They're pulled apart. They come back from break, right? So they pull them apart, then they go for break. They come back from break, and the two lads are just sitting there, bruised, back on the panel, answering questions. Now, if I see that in the doll, this is what I want to ask you, right? Based off that, we're looking at journalists, political pundits, and politicians, right? We've got to set the scene for you. Ryan Tuberty, Pat Kenny, right? Just because they're the first two fuckers I can think of, right? Mary Lou on one side, Mihal on the other side. There's a scrap. Who do you have to pull off the other? Mary Lou or Mihal Martin?
Mary Lou would tear the head off him.
I think Scary Flew would batter him.
Yeah, she would.
Scary Flew would punch the head off Mihal Martin.
100%. Even the way she talks from the doll, like you can tell that she's ready to eat the head off him.
Did you hear she called him corrupt the other day?
No.
She was like, this government is rife with corruption and backhanders and brown envelopes. And then start going like, sure, I think that went on in Galway and this thing here and this thing here. And Mihal Martin comes out and you'll try spin anything to do with housing into a political thing. And you're like, man, you've used that exact same thing each fucking time. Can you answer a poxy question? It was all in regards to Devoney Gardens. There was supposed to be a development there started in 2018, didn't start. Basic public lands were gifted to a housing company called Barra. or Barnet or something like that.
Because interrupt you real
And
quickly.
yeah, go on.
Do you finish your drink?
We're still on the Ukraine topic.
Not really.
Well, we're just a little sidetrack. I'll go back to after. Oh, down we drink.
Before
Well,
you
still
do,
finishing this first.
before you do, see the thing in Ukraine, Twitter pull up a picture of Hitler holding.
A picture of Hitler. What?
Can't drink's gone.
No, it's not.
Oh, have time.
You
He put up a.
got done.
He put up a picture of Hitler holding Putin's face underneath. It says, "This is not me, but our and your reality right now." Are you drunk?
I seen one the other day, and it was Justin Trudeau dressed up in a Nazi cap saying "Trudeau Hitler." I thought it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, you were right. Bottles done. Topic number 3. Aaron, have you seen the Tinder Swindler?
90% of it, yeah. I didn't see the end of it.
I haven't seen any of it. But I've heard a lot about it from my friends. Right? And all I can say is, who in the right fucking mind is giving a random fucker they met on Tinder 20 grand? I don't care if they showed you photos of, oh, this is me on me boat, this is me here. Fuck that. You had 20 grand to give away and you give it to a randomer. Not gonna lie, you probably fucking deserve to lose.
It wasn't as it's not as plain as that. So what he did was he faked a lifestyle and got them to come away a few times, and that made them believe they had some money. So it starts off, spoiler alert, just fuck it, it's not that good anyway. It starts off with a one, and she texts him, meets up with her, has dinner, and then says, "Come on a private jet with me" on the first day.
Okay.
And she goes home, and he gets a car to pick her up, like a Rolls Royce or something, like a really nice car, pick her up, bring her back, get a suitcase, and brings her on a private jet. And then a few days later, he says that someone's after him, and all his
my enemies are after me and all this.
Yeah, like my enemies are after me. My assets are frozen. I have no access to cards. Can you go get a credit card or a loan? And obviously, I'm going to pay you back. And she thinks, well, this fella's rich. If I get a loan, he's going to pay me back. No bother. And then he basically said, go get a loan of, like, let's say, I don't know what it was, let's say 20 grand. So I can't get a loan for that amount. And what he done was he hired her as his employee and gave her like 90 grand a month so she can get a loan. Well, on a pay slip sort of thing. And she was able to go get loans and all. And she was so when she took the money out, paid him, he was like, "Grand, I love you so much. You were definitely the one for me. Thank you so much for getting the money out. I'm obviously going to pay you back when it's all sorted, blah, blah, blah." So what that done was that gave him money to him, which then he would use to portray this lavish lifestyle and trick someone else. And it's just a cycle then. But what was believable was
he at least parking up at least 5 grand and trying to buy a bit of Bitcoin or something? Like doing it smart? Or was he just a dickhead that was spending 20 grand a pop? Like,
I just spending on like fucking nightclubs and tricking little girls. So what he done was he'd go to this restaurant and like the owner or waiter would come out and like give him like free drink, like, "Oh, hello, Mister," or whatever, welcome back, and make him look like he's an important lad. And when she meets him and sees him like on a private jet and like in the 5 seasons and everyone knows him, she's like, "Oh my god, this fella has money, so I'm always going to get money out and he's going to pay me back and clear it and give me extra and whatever." So with that money, you'd go out and go to a nightclub, buy everyone drinks, live this lifestyle to trick someone else, and just keep getting money and money and money. And
so you're telling me you'd want to be his mate, like you wouldn't want to be with him, but you'd want to be his mate, like.
Yeah, so that's what he does. He portrays it being a rich fella when he just loads of girls getting loans out to pay for his lifestyle, and he just moves on to the next one. And then I heard somewhere that he went to court over this, try getting to pay their loans, but they're stuck with them now because it's in their name. So obviously they're the ones responsible for it.
Oh well, I guess you should have read the contract when it comes to a loan.
Yeah, so the fact that like he's told you to take a loan,
I tend to have no sympathy for people that don't read the contracts, you know. Unless it's an Apple terms of service, I think you should be reading it if you're signing up to it.
Like he can't he can't co-sign for it because then they know about her and she won't be safe then and all this shit. So
he's using the Spider-Man.
Yeah, So it's just their name on the loan. So they're the ones that are still paying it off, even though they tricked them. Well, they signed it, it's in their name. So I can say to you, Adam, I'm in trouble. Get me a 20 grand loan, and then I fuck off somewhere.
I could laugh at you.
Yeah, you're like you took out a loan, and I
It'd help
didn't
you fake
co-sign
your
it.
death and then give you plane tickets to a different country and then slip 80 in a little note being like he's actually alive, got meeting him in Aruba, wherever that is, or Timbuktu or something. Got out to Mali.
But that's it in a nutshell, really. And apparently they're making he wants to make his side of the story sort of thing.
I said the story. Not gonna lie to you, bro. Not gonna lie, and I think I need to say this before I give my opinion on his side of the story, right? Genuinely, if I could get away with it, I would have done it myself. That is absolutely incredible. Entrepreneurship of the highest order. And that's only coming from me because I haven't seen the series and I haven't seen the aftermath. But the greatest way to make money on the planet, hands down, ask any entrepreneur, isn't about developing the greatest product. Isn't about having the greatest work ethic. It's about making money off idiots. And an idiot, in my eyes, is someone that's only happy to hand their money away.
Well, he played it
For
off
something
well.
stupid.
Like at the start, you don't think about it. You're like, what the fuck's wrong with him? He's well known in the hotel. He has a private jet. He has me picked up with a nice car to go in his bag and fly me off. Like,
Wait, so our staff in the hotel and the waiter and all, are they complicit in it? Do they know what he's doing? Is he giving them a bit of cash as well? Like,
no,
are
it's
they just
just
kind of like, I'll help me bro out? Like,
no. The fact that he's tricked so many girls, he's staying there off their money and being portrayed as a rich lad. So if he keeps
right, so
staying
they
there,
actually think that he is a rich dude, like.
yeah. So like, oh,
Oh
hello,
shit! So
Mister, whatever, and
you're
everyone
telling me
knows
this
him.
guy played everyone in real life? He literally played
I think
everyone.
so, yeah. He when he went to a
Where
restaurant,
is
he must
this
have.
man?
I don't
Where
know
is
where
this
he
man?
is
I
now.
need to go and learn from this fucker. I'll give him 20 grand to teach me his message. Fucking
Well,
hell, lads. Aaron, we'd have the best podcast in the world. Imagine Tinder. Hi, can you give me 20 grand? My enemies are after me. We'd have a studio by now. That'd be lethal. Fucking hell, bro.
just
Time to
added.
swindle a few.
Oh, and do you know what else he's doing as well? He done something on the Instagram. So, I think he faked his business and faked being the CEO of it because what it was
Okay.
is a diamond business and it was his dad's business and he was known as the Prince of Diamonds, but that company didn't exist, I think, and he put a picture on Instagram of like his company and he had a good following. He had, I think, it was verified and all
Can
this
I
shit.
can I stop you? I think I realized why I'm genuinely loving this dude's vibe so much.
He played off
Are
so
you a fan
well.
of How I Met Your Mother?
I am. It's a Daily Show.
You know the playbook.
Yes.
Now, if you know what I'm talking about, don't say anything, right?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Lorenzo von Matterhorn. Spelled how it sounds, 2 T's. Lorenzo von Matterhorn. Out straight, right? And anyone that hasn't got a breeze on what I'm talking about, I don't blame you. And How I Met Your Mother, I think it's like season 5, episode, whatever the fuck, I'm not that much of a fanboy. Barney Stinson unveils the playbook. And it's every scam, hustle, flim flam, bamboozle, and many other adjectives to describe tricking people that he's ever used to seduce women.
I
And
think the
one of
best
them was
is
called the Lorenzo von Matterhorn. Hang on, we need to tell them about the Lorenzo von Matterhorn first. So the Lorenzo von Matterhorn is you walk into a bar, you look around for a girl with like a real nice phone, right? You see her with a nice phone, I'll stand by herself at the bar. You go over, stand beside her at the bar, order a gargle, and be like, say something to her, play it off as if like you're famous or whatever, and then be like, oh yeah, I'm whatever. Come up with a really unique last name, introduce yourself, and then leave when she doesn't know who you are. Give her an adequate amount of time, so 5 to 10 minutes, to give yourself a little Google search, which you find all of these amazing pages that you made about how your solo hot air balloon trip to the North Pole was a feat of daring and heroics, and how penis enlargement surgery, penis reduction surgery, sadly is not an option and shit like that. How your dick grants wishes, all of this sort of shit. By the time you come back into the bar, it's on. That fella basically Lorenzo von Matterhorn,
in a
a load of
nutshell.
young ones
Yes.
on Tinder.
Yeah.
Do you know what, mate? From one Barney Stinson fan to clearly a Barney Stinson fanboy. Legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Legendary.
I need to rewatch that. That
Bet
was a
he was
Daily
wearing a
Show.
suit. Was
He
he wearing
was,
a
yeah.
suit? the Tinder Swindler.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he took everybody since and lesson to heart. Ladies and
He
gentlemen, I
solved it.
have to say it. If you gave that fucker money, I'm sorry. He deserves an Oscar. He deserves a fucking Oscar, that fella.
Yeah, like the
Give him a
length he went
joint
to,
one
like
with him and
his.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Because, like as you said there,
I don't
like,
feel bad for anyone now. That's amazing.
as you said there, like you do your own research, you look into his company, like, you see his name, you see his Instagram, him posing, like, and all this shit. You're like, holy shit! You see yourself
You
on a
put
jet.
the work in.
Yeah,
You put the work in, bro.
like generally, if that was you and you seen aboard and she had a private jet, Instagram with all the pictures, this and that, you're like, this seems legit. How's she faking this? Like, you wouldn't think anything of
I'd
it.
be in a handbag ready to go home, bro.
No, do you know what I mean? Like, by the way, people like catfish and it's not them in the picture. You're like, oh wait, this is him. Oh wait, I'm actually on a private jet. He's not faking this. Like,
Yeah, it's one thing I never got, catfish. Did you hear they want people from Ireland to go on it?
oh, fuck off.
Yeah, they want an Irish series of catfish. So if anyone wants to get catfished or anything, let me know and we can be on TV.
No, do you know what I mean? Like, it ticks the boxes and it all, like, why wouldn't I take a loan now? He has money, he has a private jet. Obviously, I'm going to get it back. And the length he went to lie and portray this persona is like.
Imagine trying to do that in Ireland, though. Sorry. The length you went to, you're dead right. I'm trying to do that in Ireland.
I have
Yeah,
a
I need a
family.
loan. Why? It's like, why do you need a loan? My nanny's dying. I need to get her a ventilator. Oh man, you know that just doesn't really. That's not really covered in our loan structure. Could you like say it's for something else? Like, and you know what? You won't get approved anyway, even though you're like on 500 grand a year and all. Like Ireland's a difficult out place to get a loan. Like, so imagine that over here, bro. Will you revolute me 20 quid? Boy, have enemies ask me, bro. But he said if I give them 20 this week and 20 next week, then let me off the hook.
That one friend asked you for their fiver back.
The Tinder Swindler would literally be a fella going, remember you said you'd buy me a drink when we went inside because I paid for the taxi? Yeah, still waiting on it.
Remember that $5 you owed me? Yeah, can I have it now?
Remember that Fredo I gave you? Remember that chip Fredo I gave you once? Here, there's a lot of cool things to talk about, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really nice to be back fucking chatting to you, bro. Honestly, on the old podcast. It's a bit of a shame I haven't seen a drink in your hand once.
I have a lot of whiskey, but not a lot of mixer. I'm
Misker?
like fucking Joe Biden to me. Fuck me.
Are you giving yourself a fucking enema there? You're getting hammered without us seeing, like.
This is vodka straight.
Fucking sitting on the bottle, that fella is.
Fucking, I have loads of whiskey there, and I just have no mixer, so I'm not drinking it straight because that will rip my stomach. So.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Maybe like a little bit neat or something, you know. Or not neat. On the rocks. I don't really know. I don't tend to drink whiskey anymore. It makes me do foolish things.
What I'm doing is we're getting a beer cart, so I have Jameson, Crescent. I'm gonna get Dead Rabbit. It's like 60 quid a bottle, but it's so nice. I have Jaeger.
What, whiskey?
Yeah.
I have a litre of Jaeger there if you want it.
Ooh.
It's gonna get used up here otherwise, like, so you know.
Yeah.
That's what we should do. Oh my god, right. Anyone that watched this far in the podcast, please let me know if you think this is a good idea. And if you think it's a good idea, we'll put a poll up or vote on it, please. Because I'm gonna get Aaron shit faced. I'm gonna bring a special guest. And he's gonna hate me for it, but it's gonna be brilliant. I think, right? You're on my wavelength here, yeah? You ready? You with me? Yeah? You pumped up? Are you ready? Right, ladies and gentlemen, I have a plan. My plan is 1 litre of Jaeger, 1 litre of tequila on the table, 1 litre of whiskey. 3 separate shot glasses in front of myself, 3 in front of Aaron. And based on results in a super chat, you tell us what we have to drink.
What are the options?
So I'll sit there, do a shot topic. Aaron sits there, does a shot, answers. See how far into the podcast we can get before one of us is trying to do karaoke and the other one is getting sick into a bucket.
What was that? Whiskey, Jaeger. What was the rest?
Tequila. We get a bit of tequila.
I actually need to buy tequila for the bar cart, so I will have that soon.
I have tequila in the gaff.
Every
Martina
time
won't like me saying that.
every time I do
it's hers and not mine.
Mate, every time I do tequila, I always forget to do the lemon and salt. I was like, oh shit. And
And don't worry. The all before the best part, Aaron. This will mean nothing to the people at home. But my tag team partner that night, my special guest, is the one, the only Lamp.
oh, fuck off. Fuck off, mate. Fuck off. Fuck off.
The Lamp is back. I found him in a skip outside McGowan's.
Fuck off.
I've nursed him back to health, and he's here to kick your ass.
Fuck off. We'll save that for another day. Or maybe
We already talked about it on the
told
podcast. You did already tell everyone. That's why. See, for continuity wise, this is why you need to be watching all of them, lads. Aaron Shags
it.
Lamp.
Fucking lamp. Jesus Christ. Mate, on that note, we're not talking anymore. We're going to end the fucking podcast there.
Well, just sprouting on it here. Hey.
Oh, wait, we have to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, get the little chant going. Aaron, do you know the chant?
We like to drink with Adam because Adam is our mate. And when we drink with Adam, he downs it in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Who's a sexy bastard? Who's a sexy bastard?
Not here. Not him. Did you ever see the video? Sorry, before we go. Irish fans, Euro 2020, Euro 2016 in France. They turn around as a vanguard and the guy are telling people, go home. You need to go home. All this. All the Irish fans turn around, see the vanguard. Who's a sexy Garda? Who's a sexy Garda? Hey!
I've seen that.
And look, come here. On that note, Aaron, as you said, we'll love yous and leave yous, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you even bothered to tune in, we'll love yous to bits, but we'll also leave yous in bits. So, love yous and leave yous, ladies and gentlemen. Slán lap and go fucking maggot. You about it.
Take it easy.